This is the Southside School of Financial Freedom Market Report and Small Account Update for the week ending July 6, 2024. The market finished higher this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average increased 0.17% on Friday and was up 0.66% for the week. The S&P 500 increased 0.54% on Friday and was up 1.95% for the week. The Nasdaq increased 0.9% on Friday and was up 3.5% for the week. Looking at the week, we can see that there were 11 up finishes versus one down finish for the major indexes. On Monday and Tuesday, all the major indexes finished up. On Wednesday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished down, while the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq finished up. The market was closed on Thursday, and on Friday, all the major indexes finished up again. How did you do? My small account finished 5.31% higher and generated cash flow of 1.42%. Even when the market falls and or my account doesn't do well, I still get income or cash flow by selling covered calls and naked puts. This method does not only guarantee cash flow or income, it can also beat the S&P 500. I use a watch list to determine which options of stocks that I want to sell. A stock has to meet 5 criteria to be on my trading watch list. I will not reveal what my criteria are, but if you examine my list, you may be able to figure out the criteria for yourself. The last row is my benchmark row. That is, I measure my performance against gold, silver, and the S&P 500. Looking at my watch list from the week, the strongest performer on the list was Cipher Mining Incorporated, ticker symbol CIFR in the third column. It was up 1.08% on Friday and increased 13.25% for the week. Cipher Mining Incorporated is a technology company that focuses on the development and operation of Bitcoin mining data centers. Cipher operates 4 Bitcoin mining data centers in Texas. The largest facility is a 207 megawatt facility in Odessa, Texas. They are also building a 5th facility in Winkler County, Texas. Their main facility, located near Andrews, Texas, is a 10 megawatt data center that is also connected to the local electricity grid. Looking at a summary of results, you can see that Cipher has increased almost 14% year to date. I did not generate cash flow from Cipher this week. I did, however, generate cash flow from selling 7 different option contracts. There were 7 calls that ranged from $4.34 to $12.34. On Wednesday, I sold 2 calls, one for $4.34 and one for $6.34. And on Friday, I sold 5 calls. 2 calls I sold for $5.34 each, and I sold a call for $6.34. I sold a call for $10.34, and I sold a call for $12.34. That is a total of $54.72, which is not a lot of money, but the account is small. $54.72 in cash flow was 1.42% of my account value. With this system, the cash flow money you receive is free and clear. You can take it out of your account and spend it, or leave it in to build your cash balance and or invest it. If you want to increase the amount of cash flow, just use a larger account. So, for example, to 10x the cash flow to $547.20, use a larger account, and instead of selling 1 of everything that I sold, sell 10. This strategy is guaranteed to produce cash flow immediately in every week that it is applied. However, it does not guarantee the amount of cash flow from week to week, nor the value of your account. The amount varies and the account value varies. Despite the variations in amount and value, the goal is to generate cash flow and beat the S&P 500. Please note that most professional money managers and their strategies do not consistently beat the S&P 500 every year. They usually lose, and they lose by a lot. Last year, this method beat the S&P 500 by almost 12%. But in 2024, my account is down minus 14.63% versus 16.69% up for SPY, which is an S&P 500 ETF. That's a difference of 31.32%. So I am losing to the S&P 500 by over 31%. It's not unusual to beat the S&P 500 one year and then lose to the index the next year, which is what I am doing so far in 2024 because I am still trailing SPY by a lot. However, I am confident that I will gain on the S&P 500 and beat it by year's end. What do you think? Turn in next week to find out what happens. Bitcoin watch. Bitcoin lost minus 7.12% this past week and is minus 23.57% down from its all-time high. It is up 34.36% year to date, so it is still in a bull market. Some people believe Bitcoin is the most transformative financial asset in 1,000 years. I think the best course of action is to dollar cost average, that is DCA, into the S&P 500. Again, it's hard to beat the S&P 500. And DCA into Bitcoin at a 30 to 70% ratio for the next 10 years and up to when you have invested at least $10,000. In fact, I have implemented a similar strategy where I have a portfolio that is about 91% in a Bitcoin ETF, and it is down minus 9.73%. What do you think? What is your strategy? Do you know how to produce cash flow every week and beat the S&P 500? Do you invest in Bitcoin, which may prove to be the smartest investment of the decade despite its recent downturn? As you develop, analyze, and implement your strategy, please check back to see how my small account and my Bitcoin dominant account performs against the S&P 500 from week to week by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.